Okay, next up is Predators, a long-awaited sequel, I guess you could say, to complete the trilogy, and that's not counting the Alien vs. Predator films. This is, of course, born from a Robert Rodriguez concept. Robert Rodriguez, one of the great filmmakers of our time. And, of course, this was actually conceived, get this, in 1994. He had the cast that he has here, outside of Lawrence Fishburne, I believe, wasn't really who he had in mind. Now, it was shelved since then, and hasn't, until last year, it didn't really come about. Now, they try to really get an embodiment of the 1985 original film classic starring Arnold Schwarzenegger and Jesse the Body Ventura. Now, as much as that film was enjoyable, the rest of the franchise, that includes the Predator 2, and even the Alien vs. Predator movies, just didn't really just do anything for me. The thing is that it just doesn't have what it takes to be a fun action film, despite some good sci-fi scenes here in Predators, of course, this is called. Now, of course, the hunt and ensuing suspense are what the franchise and its fans probably have been clamoring for. If you're a huge fan of the whole franchise, you will enjoy this, but me only liking the first film, it just really didn't do it for me. Now, of course, I gotta say, it's been almost a quarter century since the first Predator film, and I gotta say, it's running out of steam and ideas, and as the film winds down, it just got less and less interesting. Now, suspense wastes no time in making its presence felt in the film's earliest frames. They were always talented Adrian Brody, who was in the fantastic film Splice, which I suggest you all check out, another sci-fi film. Unconscious and in a free fall from thousands of feet above the ground, with a bunch of others who've been snatched from their previous lives to take care of the situation. After a rough landing, he'll soon discover that he's not the only one who's been abducted and tossed out of a plane into a strange jungle. And he'll learn a harsh reality that there's a reason he is there, is a one-way ticket to a skinning. Now, Predator featured, its usual exemplary, who's who of walking cliches. You got the film. This film doesn't lack any charm or magnetism. It does have it in a lot of scenes. But really, as I said, as it goes on further, it just dies. Now, of course, it features its very familiar, memorable collection of, your typical action characters. There's, of course, Robert Rodriguez fan favorite Danny Trejo playing a mirror image of himself, as always. Adrian Brody as a surly tough guy loner who's channeling Christian Bale here, it seems, in his Batman voice and whatnot. Walter Goggins as a motormouth serial killer coward. Lawrence Fishburne as the guy with the trippy, psyche. He's really out of his element here. Oleg Taktarov as a mild-mannered big gun. Alice Braga as a Latina macho warrior. Of course, you got Topher Grace as the sniveling little dweeb with questionable loyalties. Yes, Topher Grace, as in Topher Grace from that '70s show. Predators isn't really terrible as far as action films go. It's just not as enjoyable as I would have hoped. Despite the fact that the film doesn't really make all the marks, it does have its moments, and fans of the franchise, like diehards, won't be disappointed, and they should enjoy it. But as for me, I just did not enjoy it very much. It just seemed to be walking through the similar cliches that we've seen a million times, despite its visualistic stylings. I give Predators 2 stars out of 5.